Hi everyone, I hope everyone is doing well. Today we are going to discuss one of the most important topics, which is how to read editorials. Because editorials is one of those things that a lot of students stay confused about. It takes a lot of time, it wastes a lot of time. So, how to improve your editorial reading, I'm going to discuss that. I'm going to give you specific points. On number one, I will discuss what are the purposes of studying an editorial. That there are different purposes, and you should identify these purposes beforehand so that you can improve your reading of editorials. Second is which newspapers you should be reading these editorials from. That is the second thing I will discuss. There will be only one newspaper, of course. Then third is for how long should you study the editorials? How long are you required to study the editorials? That I will discuss. Then I will discuss which topics from editorials you should study. Then I will discuss what time you should study the editorials to maximize your output in the day from editorials. And then finally, I will also discuss how to read these editorials and how to make the notes from these editorials. So I forgot to write that. I will write it here. How to make notes from the editorials. So how to read the editorials and how to make notes from the editorials. These are all the topics I'm going to discuss today. So first of all, I have laid out the purpose of studying various editorials, and the purpose is basically fourfold. There are four things that you want to cover in the editorials. The first thing is that you want to improve your awareness. If your awareness is good about certain topics, if your conceptual clarity is good by studying editorials, so of course then you can answer your GS mains answers much better. You can write much better answers. That is the main goal of reading editorials, which is to improve your awareness, because by reading the editorials you can increase your conceptual clarity. You can come to know about various issues that are important in the country and in the world, because a lot of these issues are coming in the exam. So the main thing is to improve the awareness, and to do that, what are the different topics that these editorials cover? They cover developmental issues, like you have seen. They cover various constitutional issues. They cover various science and technology related issues. They cover international relation IR issues and some other major topics. So these are the major things that all the editorials usually talk about developmental issues, constitutional issues, science and tech and IR. And if you read editorials, these are the rough areas where your awareness and understanding is going to increase, and that will help you in mains. Really prelims, it won't help you much. Prelims में editorials का इतना help नहीं मिलता, but it will really help you for mains. Okay. The second thing is to improve your reading skills. See, normally what happens in college, we are not reading much. Especially if you are an engineering student, you might be dealing with equations, mathematics, problem solving, but you are not focusing on reading as a art, reading as a science. So improving reading skills is also something that overall editorials will help you with, and that is one of the purposes of why we read editorials, to improve the reading skills. Then the third one is to increase your or improve your writing skills. Writing skills is key because mains is all about writing better. Mains exam for UPSC is all about writing, how well you write. That's why writing skills are critical. And when you read good editorials, you come to know that how something can be written in an effective way, how the introduction can be, how the body can be, how different parts of a particular topic can be issued. So therefore writing skills also help in improving if you read properly when the editorials are concerned. And fourthly, it creates a good mindset. It creates a mindset of a well-rounded civil servant. I feel like reading editorial is something that should be a lifelong habit. But of course, you cannot read every day. Of course, you cannot read long editorials every day. It is not possible from our busy schedule. Even in UPSC preparation, reading long editorials is not possible every day, and that is what I will discuss further. But first I wanted to discuss the purpose of studying editorials. So it is good to read these my editorials, because you become well-rounded person. You come to know about various issues that are going on in the world, and that helps you to become a better civil servant. So these are the four major purposes of reading editorials, and you should keep them in mind when you start reading editorials and you start your strategy of how to maximize your output from editorials and minimize the time you're spending to study those editorials. So coming to the second topic, coming to the second part, which is which newspapers you should be studying for editorials. Well, for editorials, I feel you just need to study one newspaper. Either pick the Indian Express or pick the Hindu. These have the best editorials out there. I will also show you a live example of me reading and making notes from the editorials so you can understand exactly how to do it. But I feel like the best way to do is whatever you like, IE or Hindu. You cannot do both. It's not possible to do both, not wise to do both, and it is not advisable to do both. You will waste a lot of time, so focus on only one of them. Okay, so this is the kind of an overview of these two things. Now let us move to the third thing, which is how long should you study the editorial for. Should you study it throughout your preparation, that is all 12 to 18 months? My answer is no. You should not study editorials for all 12 to 18 months. You should only study them for the first 4 months of your preparation religiously. See, once your polity, history, and some current affairs are almost done, when you have finished your polity syllabus, you have studied Constitution at work, you have studied the Lakshmikant book, you have studied some current affairs and PRS website related to polity, like I have given you. You have studied some history, ancient history, modern history, some medieval history, art and culture. Until then, you should prepare your editorials. After that, you should focus mostly on the books and other sources that have been given for the preparation, because editorials have the purpose of informing you, making you aware, making you well informed citizen. So after, I think, 3-4 months of serious reading of editorials and making decent notes from the editorials, after that you will not feel the need, because then you will have other things to do. You will have to study for optional, you have to do answer writing practice, okay, you have to do essay writing, you have to also do ethics. So all these things have to be done. So how will you time find for editorials unless you feel like you really get some value out of editorials? Personally, you feel like, I think for me personally, what worked was, after 3-4 months of studying editorials, I stopped studying editorials. Then I started really focusing on other things, um, which were of these nature, because you will not be getting so much out of the editorial after this much time. After studying editorials for 3-4 months, what happens is, and you have studied your polity, history, ancient modern history, etc., art and culture, that you start getting a good hold of what these all these opinion makers or people who are writing editorials are saying about issues. It is their opinion, it is what they feel or what they have analyzed about the issue. After that, all these things you can get from current affairs magazines like Vision. If you still feel that you could be a current affair person who likes to read them, you can go ahead and read them. But I would say for most of the aspirants, it does not make sense to then go into the editorials. After 3-4 months, it's enough, more than enough, and then you can stop, and then you can just cover all these things from the current affairs magazines, and you will have a good hold over those topics. Then what topics of editorials to study? See, this is also very important. There are a lot of editorials. Lot of online sources will tell you that you can skip this, you can skip that, you can skip any issues that are not related to international relations of India. But I feel that for the first 2-3 months, you should definitely read all the editorials, so that you become aware, you become basic awareness, yours increases, and you are at a certain kind of a platform where you are at. After that, when your fourth or fifth month of preparation is there, then you study only UPSC related topics. So for example, IR, UPSC only asks India related IR questions in GS mains or even in GS prelims. In GS prelims, sometimes they ask you factual questions about other countries, but mostly it asks you IR about India only. So only UPSC related topics you should study after 4 to 5 months, because only they will have any value to add. But there are other topics that are not given in the UPSC syllabus, that you should definitely not study after 2 to 3 months of your preparation for UPSC for editorials. Okay, so that is how I would divide my preparation: 2 to 3 months all. Then after 3 months, you should just focus on UPSC topics. So basically, in this time, you will have your good foundation laid out, and then you can go and narrow down your studies. And then after 4 to 5 months, like I said before, after 4 months, you can only skim them. You don't need to study them. You can skim them. You can look at the topic. What is the topic that the editorial is talking about, and then you can either study it from any online source that we have provided you, that I have also mentioned, or you can study it from the various magazines that are out there, that I have also already recommended, like Vision or something like that, or GK Today, because that will be enough. So this is the strategy I would talk about, I would follow, about how to cover topics from editorials. Then now it comes to when to study editorials. When, what time of the day is the best? I In my opinion, see, in my opinion, I think it is best not to study these editorials in the morning. Why? Because in the morning, it is the most productive time of your day. You get the most out of the day. If you wake up in the morning and straight away open your newspaper, it is so overwhelming. There are so many different things going on, your brain will get confused and exhausted. So, personally, I felt that my brain used to get exhausted by reading newspapers in the morning. So what I did was I started switching it to the afternoon or evening. So whenever I was feeling a little lazy, when I was feeling a little tired, I used to study newspaper at that time because newspaper does not require a whole lot of concentration. It is a very extensive document. So I would say that evening or night after static study is over, because static study is more important. Current affairs you can solve easily once you start getting a good hold of static material. Okay. Uh, so I feel like you should do that after you have finished your studies. Go for them studying in the evening. So you can, it is your personal choice, but this is what worked for best for me, and did wonders to managing my time. Okay, so study in the evening or night when your time is less, I would say, productive. Okay. Then finally is, before I go to how to make notes, for that I will go to a live editorial and show you how to make notes and how to read the. I will also show you how to read the editorial from a live editorial. But how to read? Okay, how to read in this? There are some points that you can keep in mind. First of all, ignore the opinion part. Lot of these editorials are all about opinion, op-eds. It's all about how people are thinking, or the top minds of the country are thinking about various things that are evolving, various international issues, constitutional issues, developmental issues. So their opinion is there. Don't focus on the opinion. Focus on information. Focus on well established points from some international report or from any government agency. So whatever is the well established points already, that is what you should focus on, not on opinion. Opinion is not something that really will fetch you any marks or will help you with UPSC exam. Opinions are dime a dozen. What really matters is how your own analysis of a certain situation, certain topic is there, and that has to be based on information and well established points. Okay, so ignore the opinion, just read it but ignore the most of it. Don't become this person. Don't create your own ideology based on this opinion, because ideology has no place in UPSC exam. Ideology has no place in UPSC exam or in the civil services. Okay, so you can ignore that. Time limit, I would say don't spend more than 15 to 20 minutes on the editorial section, maximum 30 to 40 when you're starting your preparation. Because in the beginning, I know you will be slow, so not more than 30 to 40 minutes. Afterwards, you come down to 15 minutes. And notes should be based on keyword and topics. Okay, I will show you live how to make notes now, but they should be based on keywords and topics. They should not be noting down the opinions of the people who have written those op-eds. So I will show you exactly how to do this. So here we are going to take the Hindu of 19th June. Here it is, the editorial page. This is on page 6, the editorial of the Hindu, and it has, like you can see, it has 3-4 editorials. It has something about vaccines. There is something about here rights of LGBTQ community, so that is there. Then there is something about US Russia ties, as you can see. So quickly, if you go through the first page of editorials, you just should first look through what are the different topics discussed. Okay, then there is something about class 12 evaluation. So this is about education, this is about vaccines and COVID, this is about civil rights, right? Because this has really to do with people's rights, this topic about gay rights. And then there is about US Russia must reset their relationship. This is about IR. So this is an overall view that today this is you have in front of you. So when you're starting to read editorials for the first time, what you really need to focus is on read them properly and get a good idea what these editorials are talking about. So you can increase your reading speed. You can also improve your writing skills by seeing how they write, right? And you can learn how to read properly so that you can pick out the most important pertinent things from here, and you can get aware, you can get, like I talked about, you can get aware of the topics. And later, after 3-4 months, you will not need to study all this. You can just study them from the magazines, right? Because you will become so proficient, you will come to know about all these topics that you will not really need to study these in detail. So here, let us look at how to study this editorial. First, like I said, just go through the page and see what are the different topics discussed. So let's go ahead and talk about this topic, and I will also show you at the same time how to make notes for this editorial. Okay, and that will also help you to get an idea about how I make notes and how you can make notes effectively. For that, I will make another video for note making, but this will also give you an idea. Okay, so what needs to be done with vaccines? Now this is the topic. So either you are making offline notes or kind of paper notes. So for this, you can use any register, you can use any paper, A4 paper or anything that you like. So you can make notes that way, or you can make soft copy or digital notes. I used to use both, switching a little bit because I used to get bored, so I used to kind of use both. For soft copy or digital notes, you can use Evernote, you can use Notability. This is an iPad app, so if you have an iPad, you can use Notability. If you don't have an iPad, you can use an Evernote on your laptop, which is a free software, or you can use Google Docs, which is free, or you can use Word, which is also installed in your computer. You can make it on a paper. Also, you can make it on a register, which is the best way, I think, because it helps you to retain a lot of things. Okay, so any of these two you can use. Okay, so now let's see. Let's say I have a paper, or I have a register, or I have this kind of a page on my laptop. So then I know this is talking about vaccines. So I should have a topic, biotech, right? For this, I'm making separate notes, and within biotech, I have one on vaccines. These are my topic and subtopics. And under this, I will leave out 4-5 pages so that I can write all the notes related to this vaccine topic. There will be maximum 1 to 2 pages. So for biotech, I can leave out 4 to 5 pages, 10 pages, whatever. And for my vaccines, I'll leave out 1 to 2 pages. And in this, I will put the information whatever I am studying. Okay, so like this, your notes should not be chronological. They should not be chronological, because पढ़ोगे कैसे उसको? How will you study chronological notes? They should be topic wise. So in my notebook, I will simply have a heading like biotech, and in that I will have vaccines, and in that I will write points. As I read, as I go through various stuff on a daily basis, I can come back to it and add my notes to this particular notebook. Okay, so that's how you make notes. So here I have this. Now I will start studying this. Policy approach must strike a balance between achievement of health goals and exigencies of supply constraints. In the beginning, you might not know words, so open a dictionary, quickly search for the words and the meaning. That is all right. In beginning, you might take a long time to read it. That is okay. Okay. So this topic is basically talking about vaccine policy. It is talking about various other related things. So I will go ahead and start reading this. So vaccines have proven to be effective against the SARS-CoV-2 virus in preventing serious illness and death. In an article published in Nature Medicine on June 9th, an analysis of data from United Kingdom gathered between this and this date, when the alpha variant was predominant, showed the AstraZeneca vaccine had an effectiveness of 64% after 1 dose and 79% after 2 doses in protecting against severe illness and death. In the same article, the authors also found that a previous infection with SARS-CoV had a significant protective effect against reinfection. So basically what this paragraph is saying, it is saying that vaccines have a good protection. They provide a good protection against the COVID-19 virus. No need to write this. This is obvious information. They have just provided some data from the Nature Medicine magazine. Apart from that, there is no useful information in this paragraph. Okay, this is just saying that vaccines are effective. Okay, vaccines are effective. No need to write this in your notes also, because you don't need to remember this. You know this. Then the next is, you can write down maybe this data that it is 79% effective after second dose. But that is roughly, you know that, okay, that these vaccines are 75% to 79% effective. So that data you can maybe write down here, but not that necessary. So you can write down here vaccine AstraZeneca 79% effective after second dose. Okay, but this is not something that you really need, but I'm just showing you how to make notes. Okay, then we go down further. Vaccine data. On June 14th, Public Health England released a report that showed that AstraZeneca vaccine had an effectiveness of 71% after one dose and 92% after two doses in protecting from hospitalization. In the first report of vaccine effectiveness from India, researchers from the Christian Medical College, Vellore, Tamil Nadu, reported an analysis of almost 9,000 staff who had been vaccinated between this and these, predominantly with Covishield in the Mayo Clinic proceedings. The protective effect of vaccination was 92% against the need of against need for oxygen and 94% against need for intensive care. There were no deaths, but 10% of those who had received one or two doses were infected. Although sequencing was not available, many breakthrough infections were probably due to the Delta variant strain. These data from UK and India show that Covishield vaccine is working against variants. Okay, so this is the key, that Covishield vaccine is working against various variants of this particular virus. No need to write, you can remember this, right? So this is how you study. You try to pick out the main points. Try to pick out the main points in the writing. All this data that they have provided here is going to support this main point. Okay. Then you go further, more detailed studies on whether the vaccines are continuing to work. If yes, for how long or against new variants will continue to be needed. So in the future, more data will be needed to establish the efficacy of these vaccines against the COVID-19 virus as it is developing. Okay, we also need to consider what we expect from vaccines at different stages of pandemic. At the level of the individual, we expect vaccines to be safe and provide protection from disease and death at least, and preferably also from mid disease and infection. From the point of view of public health, we expect vaccines to decrease the burden of illness and spread infection. For society, however, beyond the need for public health, the ability to go back to productive and social interactions also matters. These different needs require policy approaches that balance the achievements of health and societal goals with potential impact and exigencies of supply constraints. So basically what this article is coming to now is that apart from understanding the efficacy of the vaccine, which we have studied here, we also need to have different policy approaches in order to achieve the various health and societal goals that should come from vaccination. Okay, that vaccination should not only about just giving vaccination to people, but also about what needs to be further done to achieve various health goals and then meet the supply constraints that are there. Okay, so now I will tell you there are some other main points given in this on herd immunity, on long and on short term goals, on rural focus. So all these different points you should. So what you can make here notes of is maybe that what is the need of vaccine policy, or what are the implications for vaccine policy of India. Okay, implications for vaccine policy of India when it comes to vaccination of people and looking at the efficacy of the vaccine. Okay, so rural focus is one implication, that how do we vaccinate people in rural areas. Okay, second is public health. Overall, how do we address the various challenges of public health when it comes to vaccination. Okay, third is you can see what are the herd immunity goals that we have in front of me. So these are the various things about vaccine policy that we are getting out of this particular article that we should note down in keywords. In keywords, these are the keywords. We should note down in keywords, and we should note down in kind of short sentences, not very long. Okay, maybe one line for each. So that way, in only maximum 5 to 10 lines or 20 lines, we can have notes for vaccines and later we can add more to it as more data comes in, but this way we are really making our whole study productive. I hope you are able to see how am I making my whole study productive. So now let's go to on herd immunity, kind of skipping this portion, not needed. On herd immunity, when vaccines seem to be somewhere in the future with no predictability on timing or supply, discussions on the pandemic focused on herd immunity or percentage of population that is needed to be infected or vaccinated in order to slow the spread of infection. So here they have given the definition of herd immunity, and you should write this definition, that herd immunity is basically the percentage of population that is needed to be infected or vaccinated in order to slow the spread of the infection. This definition can be used in many questions that might come in the UPSC exam mains. So basically what this article is saying, that herd immunity is achieved by vaccination when we reach 85% of this figure. So here in your notes you can write this, that herd immunity is achieved by 85% vaccination achieving. Okay, and this is important number that we should achieve in order to meet the public health goals when it comes to COVID. Okay, then similarly this article goes about talking about long and short term goals. Similarly, you should pick out these important points from this article and then go ahead and write them. So this is how you read a editorial. This is how you make notes from an editorial. Sorry, this is a little messy, but I hope you get an idea how exactly should you actually go ahead and read the editorials and how you should make notes from those editorials. Okay. Further, you have this topic on civil rights, about IR. So like I said before, 3 to 4 months, once you start reading them, once you start getting a good hold on them, after that you will not need to go so much into detail about these. Okay, after that you can really go skip to a revision magazine or etc etc. But right now, if you go and kind of get a good idea about these from the editorial about these various topics, various big issues of international importance or domestic importance, then you will be good to go.